Bryan Danielson's music makes me, like, in my head, I'm picturing a montage of me living the greatest moments, right? Because I fully believe, listening to this music, that I was born for greatness, right? Like, when this music's playing and I'm hearing it, like, in my head, I'm like running the marathon, right? I'm getting that promotion, right? You know what I mean? Right? Riding in the new drop top, right? Accepting my party's nomination for president. All right. Just, I was born for greatness hits, and we now have Bryan Danielson as a permanent full-time member of the AEW commentary team. We'll talk a little bit more about this. Again, join in the chat, talk to me, hit me up in the comments later if you're watching later, but this means a lot, honestly. We could talk more about, Tony Schiavone sort of sliding, stepping back, maybe doing collision only. I feel like that's a good swap out because, right, I think Danielson adds something here that is going to help in the storytelling of these stories that we're about to get into. He's a pivotal player and character in a lot of the storylines going on overall, and I think he kind of will be able to speak to that a whole lot more than Tony Schiavone in Live on Dynamite, right? Not that Tony Schiavone's bad. Love Tony Schiavone. Want him there. I want to see him every week. I want to see him doing interviews, calling some things, right? They swap people in and out. Don't hate Tony Schiavone. Don't want him gone. This isn't like a JR situation, right? But yeah, Bryan Danielson. Fun fact, Bryan Danielson said that he found out he got this role the same way we all did when Tony Khan posted it online. Just said, hey, Bryan Danielson, full-time commentary. And Bryan Danielson's like, awesome. Good to know. I don't know how much of a work that is, but that's what he says, right? And I like this, man. Right off the bat, he's good. We've got him up against Don Callis, right? He's throwing, he's the balance to Don Callis being a jackass, trying to keep things about the action in the ring. Bryan Danielson's good at this, right? You're going to be able to hear that open mouth smile, though, right? Through that energy throughout the show, though, man. He's good. He's a geek for this. I think he's going to be good in that role. And again, like I said, he's a pivotal player in a lot of what's going on here, right? So he has the personal history with Jon Moxley and Claudio, right? They effectively ended his career. Daniel Garcia, right? He tried to personally mentor Daniel Garcia, did Bryan Danielson, right? So he's going to now sit here front row and see, sort of the outcomes of his, inability to sort of get Garcia on the path he wanted him on. We got Tino Ibarra in the chat, says, love hearing Danielson on commentary. He adds a deeper level of realism. And that's what I'm talking about, right? So these storylines, especially with the Garcia, the Death Riders, those kind of folks, Danielson's going to have a lot more to say about the story they're trying to tell and what they're doing than is Tony Schiavone.